The collection of library materials is a strength of the library and it is mainly built and managed by the acquisition process. It is a very first and important step that involves budgeting, ordering, purchasing, accessioning, invoice processing, etc. Koha Library Automation software has provided an effective mechanism to conduct acquisition in a modern way. In this video, we will see how to work in an acquisition module in Koha. It is very simple and time-saving process. You just have to follow some steps.
Let us click on the acquisition module. First, find the budget and allocate the fund. This is very important because without this, acquisition module will not function. Let's find the budget and create a new budget. Here we have to mention the start date and end date to set the period of utilization of the budget. It is your academic year. Here you must have to give the description and enter the amount. For example, here we are giving description as university budget and entering the amount as 2 lakh. We have to make this budget active and then save. You can notice here that the budget has been created. After that, we have to distribute this budget and allocate the funds for different purposes like funds for buying books or journals as per our requirements. For that, let's click on the action and then add fund. First, we have to define the fund by giving a particular name and code. Suppose we have a budget of 2 lakh, out of which if we are going to spend 40,000 for arts, 70,000 for science, 60,000 for commerce, etc. Then here we will be creating a fund for respective purposes. For example, we will allocate fund for commerce. We will give a fund name as commerce and code as COM. We will allocate the amount as 60,000. To get notified about the remaining amount in a fund, we will enter the warning amount or percentage so that whenever expenditure will cross the certain warning amount or percentage, it will notify us. For example, here I am entering 40,000. So, when the expenditure will exceed 40,000, it will notify us. After filling in the required details, click on Submit. Likewise, you can create funds for other purposes under the same budget. So here you can see that I have created a fund for science and arts under the name University Budget.
Before ordering or purchasing the book, we should have a list of vendors ready. So, here in the acquisition module, we can create the vendor's profile.
Let's click on New Vendor and register New Vendor. We need to fill all required data in respective fields like name, address, phone, fax, website, account number, etc. Don't forget to click on Active to activate the vendor and then Save.
Now our next step is to create a purchase order.
start, we have to search the vendor to whom we want to send a purchase. In the acquisition module, you can observe that we can search a particular vendor here in the vendor search box. After this, a page will open where we can see the name of the vendor and the tab New Basket next to it. Here you have to note that in Koha, new purchase order is called a new basket. Let us click on the new basket to create a purchase order. So it will open a page where you have to define the purchase order. Let's give a name to the basket. Basket name can be your invoice number, department name or anything for your reference. For example, I am giving here my purchase order number as 1. Then select billing place and delivery place and the vendor to whom you are sending a purchase order. If you want to give any internal note or vendor note, you can mention here. And then finally you click on Save. So it will create a purchase order as 1 and lead you to the next screen. Now, to add the title of books that we want to purchase, click on Add to Basket. You can see that we can add book details from various sources, such as from the existing record that we had already created in our Koha, from the suggestions, from a subscription, existing orders, external sources, etc. We can take information from a new file or a stage file that has been sent by our vendors. Also, we can search for the book which is held by many users and have the highest hold ratio. If we are not using anything among this, we can create a new record. I am using the option from a new record. Here you have to fill in the details of the book. First, add catalog details such as title, author, ISBN, publisher, year, etc. Here you can mention the number of copies or quantity of book you want to purchase and then you have to select from which fund you want to buy this book. For example, here I am mentioning 2 copies which I want to buy it from the fund Commerce. So here I am selecting the Commerce fund. Then mention the vendor price of the book, that is 350, and then mention the discount given by this vendor. Now you can see that after getting the discount, the cost gets reduced and now the budget cost is 332. As we are buying 2 copies, the total cost is also generated here as 665. You can mention any note if you want and finally click on Save. Now you can see the title is added to this purchase order and the details are given below. You can download this purchase order in an Excel file by exporting it as CSV. If you have already given the email address in the vendor profile, then you can directly send mail to your vendor by clicking on the email order. After sending the purchase order, it is important that you have to close this order by clicking on Close this basket.
When we send the purchase order, after some days, the book along with its invoices will be delivered to the library.
To receive the ordered books, we need to go to the acquisition module. and search the vendor to whom we had sent the purchase order. In the search results, you can see order details like name of the vendor, basket name, or number of copies, etc. Now, your next step is to receive this book in Koha. For that, click on Receive Shipment. Now, enter the invoice number, enter shipping date, shipping cost. Shipping cost is nothing but the delivery charges, if any, and then select the fund from which you would be paying. And then click on Next. You can see here the title and other details are shown, and now you have to click on Receive. It will take us to the next screen where we have to enter the accession number, price details as per the invoice sent by vendor. You can observe that at the left side there is a catalog details and at the right side there is accounting details. You have to add accession number in item details. Select the item type and click on Add Item. You can see that among two quantities that we have ordered, it has added only one quantity. To add remaining copy or quantity, again in the item details, enter another barcode. Select item type and click on Add Item. After receiving all copies, click on Save and wait for some minutes as system is processing. It has saved the data and now finally click on Finish Receiving. This is how we have successfully processed the invoice, and you can see the invoice details here. Also, to add remaining bibliographical details of the book such as publication, physical description, added entries, classification number, etc., click on the title of the book. Let us click on Edit and then Edit Record. Select the framework for book. Fill up the remaining information. Select the item type and then click on Save. In this way, we can complete the process of acquisition along with cataloging in Koha.
I hope this video will help you to save your time by performing the acquisition as well as cataloging of the newly arrived books simultaneously. Kindly follow all the instructions given in this video and perform your acquisition process systematically and effectively.